Right, got to turn Dickinson's Real Deal off. Hi everyone, very big welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing something I've never done before. It's a little bit weird, it's a little bit of a strange idea, but I'm hoping you guys take it well and approve. As a nostalgic little cancer crab, I was thinking back to some old memories of myself as a child. I read this article the other day about actual 90s kids being the most nostalgic generation because we saw such a big change in technology happen. We're like the only generation to see that change so dramatically that it makes us really sad. Anyway, beside the point, I was thinking back to some books I used to read, things I used to do that as a kid felt totally normal. The books I used to read. There were a few weird films and weird TV series that made me think, hold on, how did I turn out relatively normal? But the books. There are some pretty out there authors in the world, so it got me wondering whether that was still the case. Surely it's not a nostalgic thing that only happened in the 90s. The good days, there's still hope out there, right? There are still some weird and wonderful books. So I took it upon myself to venture out into my nearest library to go and have a look and see what books are being put out for kids this very day. While you watch this video, bear in mind there are real life children in the world reading these weird books. My god, are they amazing? I've got a library card just for this video idea, and I've actually got into reading a lot lately. Not kids books, but real adult books. Not adult books, you know what I mean. Grown-up books. They're all individually weird for different reasons. So they're not just all weird because they've got a strange storyline, or they're not all weird because the illustrations are funny. They're just weird for several different ways. I think I'm gonna start off with funny storyline. I feel like a kindergarten, first school, whatever you call them, teacher, like, hello everyone, here's the first book we're going to be reading today. Fun fact, as a kid, I used to love hearing my teacher read us books, and I wouldn't actually listen to the book she's reading, I would just fantasize about doing it myself. Like, I always wanted to read books in front of kids, and when I got older, I realised I don't like kids, so that's not gonna work, is it? I gave it a go though. I volunteered reading to the kids in the school down the road from me. I liked it, it was cute. Super Frog and the Big Stink. Super Frog is back on another urgent mission. Rubbish from the big grey city is polluting his pond. It is up to everyone's favourite superhero to save the day. Here he is. Tiny little frog. Look how tiny he is. Isn't he cute? Just going about his day. Aw, we all love Super Frog. I've never heard of him in my life. Frank the Frog. Wait, Frank? I thought he's... Oh, I guess that's his name. I thought his name was just going to be Super Frog. What an idiot. Yeah, because Superman's name is Superman, isn't it, Ellie? Frank the Frog was dangling his toes in the pond and reading his comic. He was enjoying the sunshine and a story about one of his favourite superheroes who was saving the world again. Suddenly, something bumped against his foot. It was an old tin can. It was rather smelly and had made an oily trail across the surface of the pond. Frank looked further back and saw the oily trail came from a little stream that trickled into the pond. Bobbing down the stream were more bits of rubbish. I literally feel like a kid's teacher. I'm getting way too into this. Frank followed the stream back through a little wood and hopped to the top of the hill. A vast landscape stretched before him. He could see the stream join a wide, winding river that led to a distant city shrouded. Shrouded. That's a grown-up word, I can't even say it. In grey cloud. More and more rubbish was flowing from the river into the stream and on towards the pond. When he returned, some of the younger frogs and older folk were being helped onto the bank and were looking even more green than usual. The people of Pond City, with the help of badgers and moles, started to build a barrier to channel the smelly stream away from the pond. But Frank knew more help was needed. "This is a job for Super Frog," said Frank. He breathed in and in and in until he was 3 times his normal size. Me after I eat Chinese. Suddenly he let all the air out of his bum and flew, jet propelled, like a superhero, up into the air toward the city. He literally farts his way into a city with the hopes of stopping pollution. He is making methane gases. He is one of the reasons why pollution exists. Out of all the different ways Michael Foreman could have made Super Frog fly, he thought, I know, Super Frog is going to fart. It was a grey world. Vast dumps of scrap and stinking rubbish covered the landscapes. Leaking pipes fed dank, poisonous lakes. Dank. The people living there were amazed to see Super Frog bounding over the dumps. Imagine. Every time Frank farted and flew, the children cheered. I think children would just cheer at a fart in general. I don't think they're excited about the fact Super Frog's in town. I think they just love a good old fart, if I'm honest. But now, a TV helicopter was following and filming the ever-growing army of children. Frank led them to the tallest tower, all glass and shiny silver steel, higher even than the dark, smoky clouds which covered the city. Everyone's really excited about a tiny flying frog. Like, look at all this commotion over such a tiny little thing. It's almost like a metaphor for the internet. Oh wow, I've just noticed this little boy's face is the scariest thing. If I was being read this book as a kid before bedtime and I spotted that creepy little boy with a creepy, shocked face, I would never ask my mum to read me a bedtime story ever again. They swept through the great glass doors and up the gleaming escalators, floor after floor to the very top. The security guards could not do nothing. What? Oh. I thought they had a bad English mistake then. The security guards could do nothing to stop this frog-led flood of children. So basically, all he does is show up to places, causes a little bit of attention, and gets everything his way. The life of Kim Kardashian. Finally, they burst into an enormous hall. Behind a gold desk sat a tiny man. "What do you want?" he said in a little voice. Oh. "What do you want?" "Stop spoiling my pond." Oh, shouted Frank. "Stop spoiling my pond," shouted Frank. "And stop spoiling our city," shouted a little girl. "Stop spoiling our world," they all shouted. The little man climbed on his chair to make himself look bigger. Wow, if there wasn't a sentence already out there that perfectly describes our government and American president, then that is it. "And what if I don't?" he asked. Frank puffed himself up and up and up. "If you don't, I will blow you away." I wonder if this was made shortly after Trump. We could literally Trump away. And with that, he turned round and pointed his bum at the little man. What the frick? The little man picked up a golden telephone. "Mend the leaking pipes," he said. "Clean up the river and recycle all the rubbish immediately." The next page is literally Frank flying away. I think he's finished his business here, guys. As Frank left the city, teams of workmen were already mending pipes and cleaning up the river. "Hooray!" cried the children. "3 cheers for Super Frog!" And he's like, da 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 da. I threatened to fart and things go my way. When Frank arrived home, he found the citizens of Pond City giving their streets and buildings a spring clean. Soon he could dangle his toes into the clean water and read his superhero comics again. From time to time, however, he hopped up to the top of the hill to keep an eye on the river and the faraway city, which no longer seemed quite so grey. The next page is just a rainbow of him looking out and feeling very proud of himself for threatening violence, technically. Right, so if I remember right as a kid, books were mainly to teach kids not teach kids lessons, but like have a moral, let them remember the book in a positive way. So if I read this to a group of kids, sure, the book's about not polluting. But really, I think the biggest message we get here is farts are a form of weapon. There's always a weapon on you. Always. So, now we've been enlightened by Super Frog's story and how we can also help save the environment, I'm going to move on to... This is a weirdness on a different scale. I can't even imagine what happened in the pitch meeting when Steve Antony wanted to make this book. Green lizards versus red rectangles. Let me just let that soak in for a little second or two. A main character of this book is not a cute little dog, a fun little cat, a human, a little boy. It's not an alien, it's not a pig, it's not a bear, it's not a little girl who just wants to find the perfect bed to sleep in, Goldilocks. It's a red rectangle. It's not even a person, it's a shape. It gets weirder though. Like, let's just see this through. So on the back, it says, the red rectangles try their best to defeat the green lizards. Like, is there something I'm missing here? Is this a thing? Is this a TV show? Last thing I checked, shapes were shapes. But the green lizards are strong. Can they find a way to live peacefully together? How you live with a rectangle in the first place is beyond me. I mean, I'm pretty sure that a rectangle is the least of your worries when you find a roommate. It's a shape, doesn't move, doesn't live. It's a shape. Doesn't even have eyes. A powerful picture book about war and peace. There's obviously going to be some sort of moral in this book. The green lizards and the red rectangles were at war. Something I thought I'd never say. The green lizards tried their best to defeat the red rectangles. But the red rectangles were smart. They've made a domino circle and then it just means they're gonna go. Oh, the red rectangles tried their best to defeat the green lizards. Oh, but the green lizards were strong. Yeah. It's just a big green mass of eyeballs, really. What are we fighting for? Asked one green lizard. Aw, he's a very strong green lizard. Perhaps he's Super Frog in disguise. But he was squashed. Aw, look at his little face underneath the rectangle. That kind of makes me sad. Oh. And this led to the biggest war ever. They fought and fought and fought until they could fight no more. Reality coated in a nice kid-friendly red rectangle-ness way. Enough is enough, said one red rectangle. The littlest one too. Nobody ever suspects the little one. The green lizards and the red rectangles gathered for a truce. Oh, look how tiny the little lizards are now. And finally, they found a way. Let's guess what they're gonna do. I guess that the rectangles build themselves into little homes for the lizards to live in. Oh my god! I was basically right! To live peacefully together. And look at the little one! Oh my god, I promise you I didn't see this. I didn't see this, I promise. Oh my god, there's even a little rectangle chimney. Is there another page? Oh, there's not. I mean, it's really stupid, but it's really sweet. I really want to read you guys this one because this is weird in another way. Like, I want to prove to you how many different layers of weirds when it comes to kids' books. This really stuck out to me because it's something I say every waking day of my life. Help. We need a title. I don't think you know how hard it is to find a title for a video until you become a YouTuber. There's no story and no title because guess what? This book isn't finished yet. This book isn't a book about a story. It's not a book with a title. It's not a book with a beginning, middle and end because the book is apparently unfinished and you're supposed to be reading the book as if you're not supposed to be yet, which I think is like mind-blowingly creative. That is so cool. But the concept of it is so weird. I can kind of see how someone probably came up with that idea. I want to make this book, but I can't finish it because I don't know what it's going to be about. And then just kind of going with that idea that the book is never finished. It says, but since you are here now and you probably do want a story, right? They're going to try their very best to find one just for you. Such a weird idea, but I love it. Here's the first page. What appears to be a pig and a wizard. And the pig says, guys, come here, look at this. There are people here and they've opened our book. Hi there. Is that the sun talking to me? Interesting. Who are you? Said a weird looking dog. What do you want? You're very sweet anyway. Wow, I think they would like a story, said the sun? Is the sun saying that? Oh god, and then this weird like alien caterpillar thing. What? How are we supposed to do that? Maybe you could come back later. We're not quite ready yet, you see. We could try adding a bit of colour. Oh, good idea. That would make everything much prettier and neater. It's kind of cute how they're like trying their hardest to make us enjoy the book, even though it's not finished yet. Is anyone else touched by that? Just me? I've lost my marbles, guys. I haven't been outside for a while. Yeah, it's really messy here. What about a landscape? I'll go and find one. I love the dog drawing. That's like the sort of drawing every kid used to do of a dog ever. Is that better? Look at his hand. How is it? We're boring you, aren't we? Sorry. What are we going to do now? Well, sometimes in stories there's a bad guy. Yes, good idea. Hey you, bad guy, come here. I don't want a bad guy in my stories. I'm happy. Boo! Can't you see there are people here? You're meant to scare them. I love how the monster's like, now what? Where's my money? Oh yes, hello there. Aren't they sweet? I could just eat them up. That's literally what I say to my dog. Do you have an idea for a story or not? If not, the very sweet people will leave. The thing is, we're still not ready. You can say that again. Nah, I don't know anything about that, but I do know it isn't very easy. You're going to need someone else. An author, said the monster. Really? Well, what is he doing? And where is he? Oh dear, some story this is turning out to be. We have an idea. Let's get you out of here. You'll see, this author is much better at making up stories than we are. Yeah, he's not bad. We just haven't seen him in a long time. Hey, author! This is so cute. I can imagine someone coming up with this idea when they've got like a mental creative block, which is crazy because this is like the most creative thing I've read in a while. Everybody's here. Author! Oh, I think that might be his door. Let's see. I love how they've just stuck his actual photo on the book. Can you see that? Oh, hello. How did you get in here? Oh, I love it. So much to look at. Sorry, but you can't stay here. I'm not ready. This book isn't finished yet. But they want a story. You could at least try. They've come so far. They're really nice too. And they did actually choose our book. Fine, fine. That's literally the face of a man who is done. Just one story, one teeny tiny story, and then you guys have to get out of here, okay? Once upon a time, on a beautiful sunny day, our heroes were walking peacefully along a road when all of a sudden, a monster attacked them. It doesn't actually say that, but I just thought I'd add a little bit of sound effect. But the beautiful, kind fairy who knew a magic spell and had a magic wand said, "Beat it, bad guy." And the evil monster disappeared. Woohoo! It worked! Will that do? That's my story. Really? It was a little short, actually. You could have tried a bit harder. At least we look good in the pictures, but the ending was so-so. Look, if you're not happy, you can go and look for a story somewhere else. There are lots of other books, you know. There was lots of other books in the library, but I did choose this one, so I'm expecting a good story. And his big arm. Look, you can go if you don't like it. And before you leave, could you do me a little favour, dear reader? Press here, please. And if you see any other people, other readers, tell them not to choose this book. Not right now, at least. Not until I have a title, anyway. The end. And there's a little lizard thing. The end. I might go find him on Twitter and say, yo, your book's wicked. I was kind of hoping to just joke and laugh about this stupid book that doesn't make much sense, but reading the story through, it's actually really cool and different and creative, and I like that. I'm all about creativity. I love it. I breathe it. There are more books that I had found, but I think I'm going to leave this here. Let me know if you enjoyed this style of video. Was it pants? Probably, but I had a lot of fun making it and that's all that counts. Please hit the bell because YouTube no longer tell you when I've made a video unless you click the bell. If you want to, you can follow me on social media such as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and Snapchat. I'm gonna love you and leave you, and I hope to see you in a future upcoming video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon. Mwah!